Hello, you red brick people out there. I don't know if any there's only 31 watching right now. The Palace of Fine Arts narrative being blown apart by our melted reality. And I'm re-rocking it, streaming it out to watch it together. So here we go, and I'll give you a little bit of narrative about it before or after the stream. We'll see what goes down. Well, here they are. So let's hear what Mark and Kairos have to say about this, and we'll see what's going on.
94 midwinter over there in what's currently called Golden Gate Park, and there's massive concrete structures which are incredible. Some are still there. Then we move over to the 635 acre at the Marina District of San Francisco, Pan Pacific. And then after that, these guys, they had to build an island for the next one. So then we go in 1939, questionable economy, questionable conditions, possible wars and all these things. But these guys needed to celebrate the opening of the Golden Gate Bridge, so they built an entire island in 9 months. Then they built the entire World Fair in less than 2 years, and a bunch of people showed up, and then they tore it all down except for a couple things.
Yeah,
just a couple things. And the statuary that's still there on display is the similar styling as what's found in all the panels around the exterior of the palace itself. So I find it interesting that these guys were able to do such incredible work. Bridges were not built yet. Automobiles are in their infancy, carrying tiny loads. And they show you in the picture they were even using mules. So they might have had steam power, they might have had vehicles or whatever. Apparently mules were still there.
They're very awkward.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of any of that. So,
do you think they even had a fair here at the House of Fine Arts, the exhibition? Do you even think there was anything there as far as people coming? Back then, what was it, 1909 or
so
what was it? Do you know the date?
It was 1915. But
Okay,
this is why. But the thing, it's very unusual because San Francisco had some problems. They had some big problems, according to their narrative. You go back to 1906. So we look at some of these pictures, and most of the city is completely wasted and scraped clean, and buildings obliterated with the diagonal saw marks through them. And then somehow, after lobbying and hoping to be able to host this World Fair, they got the nod. So these guys not only rebuilt all of San Francisco, then they had enough time and energy and resources to build this World Fair. And very unlikely. There are plenty of photos of the property, just very good ones. And there's some video, archive film. But it is visible. You can see a lot of the property. But there's some other content creators that are doing excellent work, and they're showing more. One of the subscribers has shown that they had a land map that they were presenting as real, but it was actually a diorama. This was a model, and they're trying to show you what the area looked like before they broke ground for the fair, and it looks like something out of that Thunderbird cartoon. It's very hokey, not believable, and
there's a lot of people that are actually showing these black and whites, or like you're saying, old world explorations. There are a few other ones that showing these postcards that doesn't match up, and it was from the time when they even were supposedly building it. It's so contradicting on all these black and whites and postcards or whatever, and they're not matching up.
I'm gonna open up my little slideshow, and I'm gonna just blast through some photos just to let everybody see this. So I wanted to talk some, but before I do that, little psychology. So we've heard about cognitive dissonance, and most people don't like it. It's very irritating when you hear something that goes against what you thought was true, what your loved ones told you was true, what you saw presentations on the media, and you believed it was true.
Yeah.
So the first reaction when that type of a scenario enters your mind is you want to reject it and you run.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas over the last 10 years, I've just been embracing all of it. It bugs me. But then we have a dilemma. So if I show photos and history that conflicts with the current narrative, if you have cognitive dissonance, you've got to make a choice. I'm either it's either I'm a liar or it's true.
Yeah.
And if it's true, would you like to know why we've been told lies? And if we've been told lies on something as simple and innocent as a building like this doesn't really undo or harm anyone, but bigger stories where there's world events happening, things on the world scene, on the world stage, the war theater, the theater of war, and then they'll show us photos of this is what happened. Here's some bombs falling out of some plane somewhere. Here's this place, and here's some guy, and here's some story. And then we start thinking about the logistics to build the World Fair to be amazing. But who's talking about the logistics to move your entire armed forces across the nation and stage and have fuel and have food and do everything that you need to do while everyone else is at home making airplanes? But it's very difficult because here we're in a very difficult place to do these challenges.
Yeah.
Hearsay now. There's no one alive that can verify. You can't interview a person, hey, what did you think about that? It's like they're either so old that they don't remember or they're just dead. And, you think about how old you would need to be to start remembering something where it's stuck in your mind, where you could maintain that memory for your entire life and then call out the fine details 50 years later. So enough time has passed. This has kind of slipped into just an accepted fact that this is a leftover junk building that was abandoned for almost 50 years, and then they decided we've got a lot of money and we've got a lot of time, and we're going to tear it down and rebuild it in secrecy. But none of the details were left out. Why is the building covered in swastikas?
Exactly.
In the mid-60s, nobody liked swastikas in the mid-60s. Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. And so it's all there. And then they've got these details. I feel sorry for that poor guy fighting that centaur. It's a clear warning, don't fight a centaur.
Yeah, bad move. Bad move.
That guy's getting stomped.
But we see today, man, changing of words, changing of chapters of books, everything, just in our lifetime. Those are all examples, but there's many that we see now. That they change stuff all the time. So even back then, what were they saying? And it wasn't like there was this internet and everything, and none of those people are alive. So it's really easy. And I guess it's just really hard for a lot of people, like you said, run from what we're finding, and we want to do the opposite. Why do you want to just live a lie? It's not fun. So.
Yeah, it's very questionable. I don't really know what to expect when I'm seeing these things. So let's look at a few images and try to keep this right at an hour. So this is a supposed panorama. So here's your Tower of Jewels, which looks to be twice the size of the Palace of Fine Arts. I understand there was 11 major buildings, and we're going to look at some of these. You notice here, Alcatraz has already got something going on. That's another whole adventure. So we see some more details, more structure. Huge. This is a very large building. I find this one particular photo very interesting. How about all these battleships right offshore?
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. Yeah, look at
These guys getting ready to take the whole place down. Is that how they
that.
took it down? Is that how they did it?
Warship in. That's
So
right.
then here's another amazing colorized photo. So it shows the black and white of the hill, So this is 2 years.
And we built this up for the
2 years,
fair.
huh?
See, we could build
This
some
is
shit,
supposedly a
man.
2-year build.
You know,
And these.
I just
this
called
is all
Dr.
planned. But
Rugpull.
I've been down here plenty
He
of
came
times.
down with his
walking around the
ancestors and
area.
built that out of cardboard.
Here's one of the non-colorized.
Chicken wire.
But you can just see that
Yeah, tell him, Dr. Rugpull.
little tiny column.
Meltology
People
is
are
debunking
so
the historical liars.
Yeah, I don't really see
It
any
is
people.
great to see. So we're re-rocking this
These
on
look
red
like they're made
bricks.
out of
So we're going to let it roll.
paper mache.
So listen
burlap.
up to those who don't
That looks
believe.
like this. When I was
Meltology.
standing,
Live. Red
from
bricks
the
to
side.
y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm very suspicious. So here we get one of their photos from the Palace of Fine Arts grounds at one of their placards that you can look at as you walk around. And you'll notice that in these images, all the details of these panels are the same. All the poses and postures of the statues are the same. The number of pieces, the look. Every one of these women that are standing on the very top are all exactly identical in every way, shape, and form. So I don't know how many identical molds they think they may have had to do that. I don't know that. Very strange. Here's the mules. So this is what they have out front. Mules dredge the lagoon, but kept the shoreline intact. Yeah, it's incredible. This is part of the 2 years. Mules first, then you got this bang it up. So this is why I'm wondering why we don't have a photo of
What
the
up
entire
there,
building
Eli
being
Buchanan?
on the property or being torn down. Because this is you can see just the shell.
I'm going to
of
step
some of the last
outside,
remaining. The
smoke a
layout,
cigarette.
the grid is well established.
I'll kick it with you on the chat. See you in the
Very
chat there, Eli.
level. It's a very large property. It's 635 acres. But yet, why don't we have a photo of this lagoon with this building missing or in the middle of construction?
Yes, in the 60s, 65.
And then that would also include, so if this is all concrete, so imagine this entire road with the cement trucks waiting to come in. Because I had a conversation with someone at the palace quite a long time ago, and he was a concrete man, and I was chatting with him about how do you bid this? How much concrete is this? So you can clearly see that there's more underground. It goes down, and there's a lot of this mold repeats over and over again. You can see into the column, but it's absolutely massive. Look at the puny people, and we're not even seeing. So here's the swastikas.
Yeah, and they're going to put that in 65, right? Swastikas.
Perfectly fine. So on the outside of the building, between every arch, is these intricate capitals on top of the columns. And here you can see the woman peeking her head around, and it's the same. And they're wonderful. And the imagery, look at this incredible detail that you see. If anyone's in the area or thinking about visiting, I cannot suggest this stronger. This one here I thought was wild. If you've watched Praveen Mohan and his topic on the Nagas, the snake people, seven-headed snakes, or seven something, maybe.
Always 7, right?
There's always something. And so look at that. How long would it take to make that mold? I mean, what would you made out of in 1964? What would that be made out of? And how would you take it off without ruining it? That's one piece.
These are the most intricate and huge.
How about this? You can see right
props, these columns.
It looks like it's blowing in the wind or underwater, and then it creates some cavities. A mold had to go through there.
Yeah.
Always have to go through. And it's just spectacular. Now here, let's talk about the melt.
Oh,
This area here looks kind of charcoaly. Only a couple sections of the building
Yeah.
have
Scorched.
significant damage, and you think they power washed or something like that. So keep going.
Yeah. That's, 40, 50, see, what is that, 50 years old, 60? See, 75, they finished it, right, supposedly?
Who knows?
So 50 years or
I hate to
so.
even say it out loud. It makes me feel cold.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I'm noticing that I'm going to get to these panels right now. We're just going to keep rolling through all the incredible things. There are 8 panels, and there's one that repeats 4 times, and the other ones repeat twice. So there's 4 of this one, and maybe the most important one. We've got men trying to overcome giant centaurs. Guys getting stomped. Doesn't like it. Let's keep moving. I want to show you the rest of them because
Swastikas.
okay, this is in the very center of the rotunda. It's a tribute to Lucas Film Foundation. And if you notice this medallion, okay, that's a Titan. That's a Titan, and he's opening up the Golden Gate Strait and the cities inside. And that's a boat. That's like a 4-stack steamer coming in.
Yeah, look how small that
There's
boat
the
is.
Tower of Jewels, dome building, possibly Palace of Fine Arts, and that, the Y. This one has caught my eye. Do you remember this?
Yes.
So there's an urn on top of the entire perimeter. There's 16 of them. They include griffins. They include structure. Looks like an Eiffel Tower or some kind of a antenna. Don't know.
Yeah.
This is again another mold, but these were not visible until recently. They're 160 feet in the air, and they're hard to see. And so when I had my really nice zoom lens, you could get in here and you start reading it as Latin, and that's XXX111. That's 33.
33.
Then there's a mention of Herod. What's a Herod? Herod is mentioned. And there's more. I'm trying to get a translation, but I've been a little busy for that. But here's a winged griffin.
Wow. Those things are massive, too.
They're very huge, and they're up on top. Look at the detail here. You can see more. So one of my commenter subscriber had done a little bit of translating, and they are determining that it might have been a fertility temple. This Materna over here, maternity. There are women around the entire structure. Pretty amazing. I'm not sure what they were trying to do. This, so I'm looking at these and I'm having kind of a new idea on the exterior. These little crackings. It's almost as if they use some sort of an application of really terrible plaster over the existing.
Right.
Because it looks like junk, but the earlier photos not so much looking like junk. But this is a tremendous effort to build this type of statue. All the structure is solid concrete, and this is supposedly solid concrete too. So we start looking into the details of it. I'm noticing that this guy looks almost startled, and you see this one here maybe looks startled. And this is actually, believe it or not, that's a woman. It's not a man. So that's woman part. So that's so there's these huge lion faces.
Yeah.
This one here, see the startled look?
Yeah.
Why are they, what's it afraid of? Did you get caught off guard? Or is it stone? No one knows.
Yeah. It's looking left and down, or right and down. Yeah.
So here's this was a fun day. So there's a moon there. But so you're seeing there's 4 of these. But look at the detail all around. And the shells. There's the urns. Completely invisible and unreadable to anyone on the ground. So why they would go to such extreme measures to produce something that cannot be enjoyed by anyone. So,
yeah, you have to get way out from it and zoom in like that with the camera so you can see it. Yeah.
So here's one of the other panels, and I'll show you. And the last one, I'll end my presentation on when I find it. So this one has various people, the reeds. They're doing something important, and it's included twice on the structure. This one is 4.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone wants to reminisce about what that might feel like, not good. Not good.
No, it's terrible.
Let me find. Okay. I might have a better image of this, but everyone needs to see this. Okay, that's a guy. That's a man.
Yeah. Yep.
Being held in the hand of these titans. And this is some sort of a, I don't know, fertility temple, population center. Who knows? Who really knows what was going on here? But they've got a winged horse also. That's a Pegasus. But people wanted to see where I saw the person being held by the titan.
Yeah, it's an incredible shot right there. What do you think? So compared to that little person, 40, 50 feet, or
I'm thinking a lot. That guy. That's like he's like if you open your hand up, that guy is the length of your tip of your finger to your palm compared to your entire body. So I don't know what that would.
Yeah, I don't know
work out. See if I can get something better. But look at this incredible. Look at this incredible work. So I don't know what went on, and you can see the sections where it's been grouted.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah, that is weird.
I don't know if it was butchered in place and made to look like panels. I'm not really sure. The earlier ones and the earliest photos don't seem to have the segment. But here, look at this. Here's a better shot of the guy. Look at that. It's like I just got born. He's got his arms in the air, and this guy just got introduced onto the world stage from these superheroes.
Yeah, huge giants.
So look at
Are
that.
you about the paintings or that were there and then they're not there?
Yeah. Let me. I don't have those photos right in front of me. I'm gonna show you this rotunda with all this incredible material, and I'm gonna take a second when I'm done and just show what was included in the earliest photos. Now have a look at that. Look at that geometry.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So what I've seen in the photos is these are they're maybe like 20 to 30 feet wide. So they're huge. And so there's 8 of them, and they go all in a circle. These were all murals.
Yep.
These were incredible murals depicting battle scenes, historical scenes, productivity, daily life. But again, mostly focusing on the women in those oldest murals. This is the very center of the rotunda, and you can see some segments. And this looks like it was completely sprayed with some sort of
oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
as well as all the sections in between spray. So I would love to go, right, I'll get a man lift, I'll get a scissor lift, and I'll just show up, and I'll go up in there with my hammer and see if I can find the mural, and then I'll go right to jail after that.
Yeah, I'll bail you out. I'll bail you out.
You wouldn't mind. So these angels, there's 8 angels, one of them is headless. I don't know exactly what we're seeing here, but it does appear to have some sort of heavenly oversight, direction from the spirit realm. And possibly the creation of people. We don't really know. We don't know. But what an amazing place. Let me stop again, and I'm going to find that special image from in that very early book. It's going to say the mural detail. Why don't you see if, I saw your comment, Melanie. I'm on this crappy dead cam, and that's why I'm like right up in
Tartarian meltdown. Drink beer, not piss, man. It's not good for you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you see any questions that someone would like to have an answer to, I'll be on for 3 or 4 more minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, man. We're gonna cut this one. Just you're showing all of this of the Palace of the Arts and what a BS story and the black and whites. It's one of my favorite things now, showing black and whites that are just totally hogwash, not matching up anything, and the years and everything like that. And I'm into it now just because of what I've seen, and now you've seen, and places we go, and it's nobody looks at that. Nobody looks at it. They just see a black and white or two, and they're like, okay, this is the story. So
most people, they do not have time to understand these type of things.
Yeah.
They simply do not. Okay, I think I found what I need. I just found what I need. Just give me 1 second, and I'm going to come back on. We'll do a little show and tell, and then I am going to have a nice big piece of pizza.
All right, there it is, folks. We're listening to Mark and Kairos, however they say his handle. But I urge you to go check out these channels, man. So I was watching him, and I want to show you a little. I want to talk about just a little bit more in regard to what these guys, what they're talking about. I did some research. I just go on my thing real quick, and I'll give you a narrative of. I was having conversation with a bot, all right, and with this bot, I'm going to tell you. So I asked the CGT about the Palace of Fine Arts. And after it got done giving me the bullshit narrative that they tried to feed down our throats when we know that building was already here, we know that history is a convoluted piece of mess that is getting busted down, and that's why they're busy wrecking stuff, destroying cities, destroying our ozone, creating fake wars. That's why they're doing all that stuff, because the truth is riding down their throat, and even their CG, even their bot knows. And when I say this, thanks CG, because that's what the bot asked me to call it, but the story is a lie. The building was here before the construction date. The AI bot replies, I apologize for any confusion caused by my previous response. You are correct. See? OI, organic intelligence, beats the AI and beat these historians at their own lie narrative game. The Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco has more complex history than what was previously mentioned from any of our historians, but today we have Meltologists who are here with additional claims that are substantiated by the narrative lie they give, and we busted them with their Photoshop. We know why they scrub and destroy books, and we know why these wars were, all for the arc, the energy, these energy buildings. And there it is, folks, more truth, and it was right here, and you have no PBS talking about it or nothing like that, and it's facts, folks. They scrub our stuff. So know that there's some Meltologists trying to show you what the truth is, and I'm here to tell you, keep following them, help, get involved. Some of you might be good writers, orators, graphic design, good with whatever to help get this word out. Meltology to rain down on all academia, you know. So Meltology, red bricks. So that's what we were talking about tonight. We just kind of, I wasn't going to make a stream, but I thought, why not re-rock what old Mark was talking about tonight. And there he is with Kairos. They're just finishing up, just showing you some pictures. So maybe we'll just let that play out, what they got to say here.
It wasn't freestanding. It wasn't made of paper and plaster and burlap. It says it's made of concrete and steel, and in at least 2 publications that are contemporary with the fair, possibly given to those that may have been attending. If they tried to tell them that it was plaster and burlap,
Chicken wire.
I mean, if you told me that it was plaster and burlap now, we'd just take out my hammer and have a chat. It's not that. It's solid concrete, and it's the most amazing, flawless concrete. It's specialty aggregate. The color is very uniform. Modern concrete today, it's very difficult to get uniform concrete. Take a walk down the sidewalk sometime. After you've gone about 20 feet, you've got about 20 different
See,
shades.
a lot of good points.
This was specifically
completely
designed to
destroys
mimic the color of travertine marble.
what they
And
told
I
us.
think they may have applied, like I mentioned, an exterior plaster coat, and that does fit with that sample that I have that has plaster over.
I'm going to go back to my
But
stream
the,
and see if anyone's there.
Can you zoom in on that real quick? Old World Explorationals. Zoom in on that one, I believe.
I
Yeah.
might have a better one. That's about as good. This is a very old photo. But you
Yeah.
notice these, all these columns, everything is the same. The number of columns, the location. And it's built in a swamp.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to pull down the pants of our wonderful engineers, our building people, the people that get paid the largest amounts of money to build infrastructure in our world. This building survived the 1989 earthquake while standing in a swamp. Even if it was rebuilt in concrete, and it is concrete, and it didn't collapse. The Marina District of San Francisco is subjected to severe liquefaction and damage. This is right in that very region, and it's freestanding.
Yeah.
There was freeways that fell down and collapsed and pancaked all throughout the city and killed people. They could not stand. They were right near the ferry building. The ferry building is fine. Also, it's 1906 fine, and it's not even built on land. It is built over the water.
Yeah.
It's built over the water. The freeways fell down and killed people.
Exactly.
Don't know how to design concrete structure that can stand. This is taller than those freeways. It's 162. It's 162 feet tall.
Right.
Yes.
And, I mean, that's etched in my memory too. Those bridges falling.
That's right.
And then, you know,
That's right. And I was living in the area when it happened, and I was 60 miles away, and it was pretty strong and scary. 1989. Okay, how about 4 minutes of questions, and then we're going to see you on the next one.
yeah. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. But any questions?
I can see the
That's incredible stuff. That's incredible stuff, Kairos. I love it. But as soon as you put that video out, man, especially looking at the bottom of that column, and then it got me looking up the narrative and all that, and it's the most crazy stuff ever as far as the narrative and why would you build something like this after you built it, and then now you're going to make it all this concrete and whatever else, and this huge. It makes no sense. And the money spent, and then the people, and the whatever. It's just incredible how much they can fake stuff, which is is really easy with putting in people anywhere, like they have in the same guy on those 2 pictures. So great stuff, man.
So I've got one more. I got one little bonus.
Bring it on.
People always they're always looking for something. So I've been a real big fan of numerology, gematria, mathematics, codes, formulas, patterns, all the time. And so I'm always looking for new and interesting things to figure it out. So this narrative destroying disclosure title, enter that into the gematria calculator if you dare. The very first line item, and I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to say bye-bye. But we're going to look at that right now.
Yeah, love the title, Kairos.
So let's see if I'm...
So.
What do I... I think I pushed the wrong button again. What's wrong with... Share screen.
Yeah, Old World saying he would like to see that central, that circle in the middle of the building, like maybe moon, like you were saying. I don't know how he's there. Is there any pictures of that you saw, or?
Can you see that?
Yes, you're in.
Okay. So this is a narrative destroying disclosure. Which equals 2352, along with a lot of other things. But the first line item, people will need time to believe it. And I was happy with that, because that fits with the, the cognitive dissonance. You need time. You need time.
Bullseye on that.
It's either, once again, the narrative's true, or we're just all liars. And
right.
Yeah, I'm making stuff up, and I'm the one that's doctoring the photos, not somebody else. I'm the one that's causing trouble. But let's Photoshop. People talk about Photoshop, and it's so new, and they didn't have that. It's like wrong. Photoshop is a slang for the darkroom. These guys have been cutting negatives and overlaying and scraping and adding and drawing since the very beginning, and we see it over and over and over again. So
probably had AI back then doing some of this stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
As far as the narratives and all the fakery, as far as really all of it.
So the narrative is so well woven, and they try to cover all their bases. And it was for a time period when people didn't have computers, and they didn't have the ability to record. So we saw that little propaganda reel with them taking the building down.
Yeah.
If you saw that one time during your life, that might be it. I mean, people were not using VCRs yet. And now, so the internet, they gave us too much, didn't they? They made too much. That was their mistake. So now we got them. So that, they might take it away. We don't know.
Yeah, that's
Mark,
one thing.
thank you very much for hosting today.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Had some good conversations, and I appreciate the ones that are here, listening in and paying close attention. I'm going to have some more presentations on this subject and others, and I sure enjoy it when people comment. That's where we learn these things. We learn together. Sometimes an idea might sound completely ridiculous, completely wild to be discarded, but it might make you think of something that's true. And then you start to dive in, something you never would have thought of, something that came from a source not your own. And so I value my commenters, the ones that are here. You're all thinking people. Something has changed in your life where you would like to look a little deeper, and you're not really so sure about the story being told. I know I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
So let me just ask this. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you so much again, and thank you for everybody for coming. And like you said, all these just free thinkers, and just looking at detail of everything, and not being scared and of what everybody else thinks, your family, whoever. Like you said earlier.
That's right.
It takes time for some people. It just And they do. Some people won't ever want to look at anything really, but I've seen firsthand around me people do start asking more questions. And hey, what was that? And after a couple of years seeing, say, my stuff on whatever, Facebook or something, hey, what was that? What are you talking about? So a lot of people are kind of drifting that way, and I know it's because of it started about 3 years ago, kind of for more people, and now see what the state of this whole realm is in now, and it's taken off. And just ask questions, which we should have been doing all along. But anyway, thank you so much, Kairos, for coming on, man. Excellent, killer evidence. Love it.
Thank you. But everyone, please keep in mind, this is just one World Fair. The other two in San Francisco have the same story. Chicago, same story. All of them. There's so many.
That's right.
They're all over the world.
It's all one big lie.
Every time. Built by a tiny population, impossible logistics, difficult materials to work with, built in 2 years, attended by millions, destroyed immediately.
Yeah.
It's a worn out story. But if you think about the people that were living back in that time, they may never leave their hometown their entire life. You'll hear a little something here and there about some other thing. You'll hear a little story in the news. You'll see a little snippet or a clip. They're not going to go look. They're not going to investigate. They don't have the internet. They can't scour for photos. They can't get in there and reverse image location to find the place where it was taken. They cannot use contrast and negative image filtering to dive into some of the lost details of the photography. We have those tools, and we're gonna use them, and I think it's ramping up. There's a lot of people that are showing this information, and the information I show today is not new. Many of these items, and I appreciate it. And I thank everyone for being here. And one last comment that I will give before I say goodbye. And I am Kairos. My name is Kairos, and I would like to tell you what Kairos means for those who do not know. It's the moment when a thing happens to accomplish a will. And it specifically is a biblical word that normally applies to when God finishes his will. That's a Kairos. You can be Kairos too. All you have to do is when that moment arrives for you to reach your goals, to find the information you're looking for, to meet the people that you love, to do the things that are important. Take the time to do it. Make it your Kairos moment. When something happens, it's fantastic, and you're just hoping it would happen, don't be too busy. Pull over on the side of the road. Call somebody and tell them, I'm going to be there later. Go do it. Be Kairos. Yeah. Everyone. Thank you so much, Mark. And I can't wait to see some more of the amazing things that you're working on. And I know you would you give us a little teaser onto your trip, please?
Yes, well, you said that. So next Thursday I'll be in Huntsville. I'm going to this place called Three Caves in Huntsville. Man, the ceilings are just huge. It's got to be 40, 50 feet high. Now they have put a fence in front of it in '06. You can walk around the top, but me and my son are going. I'm going to jump the fence. I've watched a couple videos. People do that, and they actually have concerts there. But you're not supposed to go in unless they have these small concerts. That you can go in then, but it's for your safety. But anyway, they call it Three Caves, but it's actually a supposed mine. So huge squares, three caves, mines, whatever. But it's really funny that they call it caves, but they're mines supposedly. But yeah, I'm going to check that out next Thursday. So hopefully I'll be on with some credits for that. Really looking forward to that. Huge place.
Very good. So, would you rather that I go to Alcatraz or back to Sutro Heights?
Man, I really want you to go to Alcatraz.
There's a melted brick avalanche over there. But I want to go underground at Alcatraz. I've got about 20 hours of map work, and I've looked at a billion photos. And I got, get this, it's great.
it's whatever you feel, but man, I've been hell bent on you going to Alcatraz for real. Man, I know that place is gonna be, especially the underground.
There's many layers, and it was supposedly built in the 1850s and abandoned, old Civil War, and there are amazing things. But to get there, you have to take the ferry from Pier 33. Only way to get there.
Like I was saying, I see 33 everywhere. They're new.
Get us out of here.
Great stuff. Everybody, thank you so much, and we will see y'all soon at some point. Love everybody. Much love.
Thank you.
That's it, folks. Red bricks to y'all. Meltology. Meltology. Until next time, love your neighbor like you love yourself. I'm out of here.